Hey, I get it. Winning in fantasy football is hard, but I have just the advice you need to win big in your 2024 season. There are so many tips and so many tricks that we will get to before the season returns, but today we are going to talk about the top 5 things that we learned in the 2023 season. Every NFL and fantasy football season is different. Sure, some things remain constant, but for the most part, many things change from season to season. Now let's discuss and break down 5 things we learned in 2023 fantasy football. Some of these are about specific players, others will be a whole position or a league specific lesson that we learned. Before we get into the list, go ahead, make sure you're subscribed to our channel and you like this video. We have lots of fantasy football advice coming, plus we do live streams that you don't want to miss. So let's go ahead and get started. Now, number 1 on our list, and this is in no particular order, Arizona Cardinals Kyler Murray is still a top 10 quarterback in fantasy football, even when the odds are stacked against him. Now, Kyler returned from a torn ACL this season in week 10 and was playing on a not so great football team. Still, with only 8 games to prove himself, Kyler finished with almost 1,800 passing yards, 10 touchdowns, 244 rushing yards, and another 3 rushing touchdowns. Murray will be a good value pick in redraft, and he's a sneaky quarterback to kind of target right now in dynasty trades. As long as he can stay healthy and the Cardinals can improve and make strides with the team, Murray is in for a strong bounce back 2024 season. Number 2 on the list, Austin Ekeler is finished as an elite running back in fantasy football as he went from the number 1 running back in 2022 to the number 26 running back in 2023. Now, before you attack me, I'm a huge Austin Ekeler fan. I love the guy. I've had him for many seasons in fantasy football. And sure, we can look at different spots on the Chargers offense to place blame besides Ekeler, Herbert getting injured, offensive line issues, but in reality, while all those things played a part, they aren't a good enough reason for us to ignore Austin Ekeler's fall off in the 2023 season. He'll be 29 years old to start the 2024 season. He has dealt with some injuries, and he just appears to have lost a step. Now, Ekeler will likely find himself on a new team next season, but the chance that he finds himself as the sole owner of the lead back role and finishing as a top 10 running back is low. Number 3 of what we learned in the 2023 fantasy football season is that the rookies absolutely crushed in fantasy, from quarterback CJ Stroud, running backs Bijan Robinson and Jamar Gibbs, wide receiver and record-setting rookie Puka, not to mention Jordan Addison, Rice, and even tight end Sam Laporta and Dalton Kincaid. Those weren't enough though. We also have to mention Tank Dell, Jaden Reed, Zay Flowers, Devon Achane, and there were others. The point is, rookies were a major fantasy impact in the 2023 season. The 2024 rookie class actually has a great opportunity to smash as well. Gone are the days of doubting rookies, having to see them prove themselves. They got to prove themselves, man. We got to see them play. No more of that. No more. Get them on your teams and celebrate as your team becomes a league winner at the end of the season thanks to some rookie players that you trusted in when the season started. Before we get into number 4 and number 5 of what we learned in the fantasy football season for 2023, drop in the comments at least one thing, at least one that you learned in 2023. We'll pick a few of those comments out, we'll talk and share them on future episodes, and of course, we'll shout you out as well. Now back to our list, and at number 4, tight ends are more exciting than ever. Not only did the staples of the position continue to crush, a la Travis Kelce, George Kittle, TJ Hawkinson, but we also had a rush of new talent emerge. Rookie tight ends Dalton Kincaid and Sam Laporta were both the number 11 and number 1 finisher in PPR scoring. Guys like Evan Ingram and David Njoku got even better, and a bunch of other guys are going to continue to improve. I mean, you know it's really good when tight end duos are starting to matter. Like, what are the Ravens going to do next season with a healthy Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely? You just can't put them on the shelf. They have to figure it out together. This is your reminder that tight ends matter in fantasy football. Not every tight end deserves to be pushed to the back end of your fantasy drafts with kickers and defenses. And now for number 5 on the list, which is honestly a plea for me to league commissioners out there who are still running standard scoring, plain Jane roster setup type leagues. We did weekly live streams last season, all football season long, to help you guys with your lineups, any questions you had, trade advice, all that good stuff. But what I realized was so many of you are still in leagues with standard scoring. It's 2024. We cannot continue to trot out leagues that lack any creativity or flexibility when it comes to league scoring and league position type style setups. Now, maybe you hate change. I get it. Baby steps. Go half PPR if you're afraid to go full PPR, or maybe get crazy, add a super flex position, or make it a 2 tight end league. But please, whatever you do, jump out of 2010, change the league style setup a little bit, make things interesting, a little modern, a little more fun, because I'm telling you now, if you are in a league where the commissioner refuses to make things more exciting, it is time for you to take a stand. Leave that boring league and start your own on Rival Fantasy. Today's episode, as all episodes, was brought to you by the greatest all-in-one fantasy platform on earth, Rival Fantasy Sports. Download the app or visit rivalfantasy.com, sign up, start playing today. Matter of fact, I actually have a link in the description for you right now. First-time depositors will get a deposit match up to $200 and a $25 free voucher. If you already have an account, you've already been playing, you've already made deposits, I got a great idea for you. Refer your friends. You and them will both get $25 in free vouchers. And before we go, hit the subscribe button, like this video, and I'll catch you on the next episode. I'm out.